All right. Hey, guys, and welcome back to another edition of the Leadership Download. My name is Travis Van Dusen, back here with my friend Cameron Singh. And today, our topic of discussion is looking for a mentor. We're going to talk about what are some of the things we need to think about when we are looking or seeking out a mentor for ourselves. To kind of get it started, I think it'd be important for us to kind of talk about the importance of having a mentor, being a mentor. So let's just start with this, Cameron. What have you seen as why is mentoring so important to you?
Well, mentoring is so important because, kind of growing up within the aviation industry, so many people surrounded me that they were mentors for me um, as I kind of pursued growth. And I learned different things from each of my mentors. And now that, I'm kind of in a good leadership position, is I seek mentorship to seek, wise counsel from people that are way ahead of me. And I find that very valuable because I want to continue to grow. I like where I am, but I want to grow and be more intellectual and get wiser. And mentorship really helps me pursue that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know for me, I have found that finding good mentors is a way to expedite your ability to move faster in your career and in your life. I once heard someone say, I think it was Tony Robinson say that his goal when he meets successful people or when he interacts with mentors is to take 20, 30 years of experience and condense it down to a couple of days. All that wisdom they've someone's built up over a lifetime, they can impart a good chunk of that wisdom in you over a shorter period of time, which means that you're not making some of the same mistakes that they made. You're almost have the cheat notes in some cases of being able to navigate through uh, tough situations. I know even before we started recording this podcast tonight, Cameron, I was speaking with a mentor of mine, and we were talking about some career challenges that I have been facing personally. And honestly, I walked into our time together with and this mindset that really had me focusing on other people. But after spending time with this mentor and talking through the situation and allowing him to kind of speak into my life, I walked away realizing how many things I had to learn. And that's really what we're talking about, is that's the value of mentorship. It's the value of being able to uh, seek wisdom and have someone pour into your life, um, so that you can get ahead and you can grow at a faster level than they did. To kind of build this, kind of build a foundation. We're going to start with a quote by Dale Bronner. It says, "The underlying purpose of mentoring is not for people to act differently, rather to become differently." So when we talk about when we talk about seeking mentorship, there's three things we want to talk about today on as things that we should look out for. And that first thing we need to look out for is does the mentor you're seeking out have credibility? Cameron, why is credibility important?
Credibility is so important because you want to make sure that you are learning from the right person, that this person is truly not only credible, but someone that aligns with your morals and ethical values. I think that's very important because the first thing you have to do is develop trust with that individual. And you want to learn from this person that you look up to, that has done great things. But another thing, you also want to learn from someone that's vulnerable, that's willing to share their mistakes and failures, because you want to learn from that, so that you don't make those same mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is what I often tell people is, you wouldn't seek business advice from someone who has never run a business. You wouldn't ask someone to coach you in an area of your life that they've never had success in. You wouldn't seek, advice, financial advice from someone who's filed bankruptcy 10 times. It doesn't logically make sense. So as we're looking and seeking for out mentors, we have to make sure there's credibility built there. And that credibility comes in a couple different ways, as you said, Cameron. And a lot of that credibility comes over time. That's why a lot of people who are mentors are going to be people who are a little older. They've been in the industry a lot longer than you have, because credibility only builds with time. Mentors must possess a specific know-how. So if you're looking to be mentored, let's say in the space of aviation, you want to ensure that that person has a know-how, a good understanding of what you are of what you want to talk about, what you want to learn from that individual. You also want to look for someone who has confidence. You talked about humility, Cameron, and that's very important. That transparency, but that also has to be met also with confidence. You can't. Um, you're not. They're not going to find someone credible if they're not confident about what they're talking about. So that first idea that we want to go through is does the mentor have credibility? The
And
second, yeah, go ahead.
Travis, another element of this is when we talk about credibility is the person that knows the daily grind, that knows what it is to rise from as I call it, frontline roles to rise to the top, and know what it is to take to get to that top or leadership position, and struggled, has a story to tell, and wasn't just handed something on a silver platter. Just looking at my inner circle of mentors is, those individuals that I seek mentorship from are able to share, their experiences along the way, share their struggles and how they came to, or I guess, their rise to leadership.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, with that being said, while you are seeking out people who usually are much further along than you are, it's also important that one of the things I've noticed is sometimes you don't have to find people who are necessarily years light years ahead of you, because I've been mentored by people in the past who could provide me with a lot of good wisdom, but they've also been disconnected. It's been so long since they've worked in a frontline role as a frontline manager or a GM or whatever it may be, that they have really lost touch with the intricacies and the challenges that come from those positions. So sometimes it's not necessarily about finding someone who's older, but just someone who's a little further down the road than you are. But we definitely want to look for that credibility. The second point we're talking about is the mentor's strengths compatible with yours? It's fine to admire talent and accomplished people. It's great to partner with them if you see that there's something that you can accomplish together. But if you don't have common strengths, a mentoring relationship isn't going to be mutually beneficial. The mentor will become frustrated, and you're going to become frustrated, and it's not going to work out to be the best for the people involved. You know, and I love this example is you would never ask LeBron James to try to teach a potato to be to be a basketball player. You wouldn't ask a 5 foot tall couch potato to for that's not going to happen. LeBron James is not going to be able to mentor someone to become this great NBA star, because there's not compatible strengths in what they're doing. Cameron, thoughts?
Yeah, in this case, personality is also a factor. yeah, you might have mentors that have different personalities than you and may not align, with your personality. But however, that person, the person that you're going to look for into mentorship is a person that is willing to help you, willing to quote unquote hold your hand, and that sees potential in you, and that is willing to take the time out to spend time in your growth and mentorship.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to also mention that it's important that your mentors hold the same values as you do as well. Um, you know, you're going to always have compatibility issues if the people who are mentoring you have significantly different values than you do. So for the purpose of mentoring and for that compatibility of building a relationship and making it work, it's important to understand that people that you should be seeking out people who have very similar strengths to you as you do, and they also hold the same values.
Yeah, and I also think it shouldn't be necessarily a one-way street where the mentor or your mentor or you as a mentor are pouring into the others. It should be vice versa. And one thing that I like doing is I like challenging my mentors, challenging what they're saying to me, disagreeing, and not just to disagree or push their buttons, but you learn from them and you learn from their mindset and the way they think. It might be something that you don't agree with or necessarily align with, but there's always a reasoning behind why they're sharing something. And then once you understand their mindset and reasoning behind certain things that they sharing with you or kind of guiding you on, it'll help shift your mindset too, so that you think similarly to how they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you just said there, talking about not being a one way street. Is oftentimes if you are, especially if you're much younger than the person that's mentoring you, you're often able to provide them with insights and help them understand things that maybe are generational challenges or generational disagreements or whatever it may be. Um, you can help provide clarity in those situations, which means that you're able to help them get ahead in understanding as well. So that brings a lot of value to both sides of the relationship. And then the third area you really need to be asking yourself is, does this mentor reproduce other leaders? I mean, at the end of the day, when you are seeking out a mentor, you're looking for someone who's going to help develop you as a leader. And if this person is not already actively reproducing others as leaders, then they're probably not the person that you should be looking to seek out advice from. Reproducing leaders are always reproducing; they're always looking to reproduce leaders. You may not share the exact same skill sets. You may not share the same careers, but you can uh, get a lot of wisdom and understanding from people from a leadership perspective, because they're just leadership development is leadership development. But if that individual is not producing other leaders, then they're probably not the mentor you want in most cases. All right. Hey, guys, and thank you so much for joining us today on the Leadership Download. If you found this content helpful and productive for you, just ask you to share or like, comment, or on whatever platform you're listening on. We are on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, so we are across multiple platforms. But we thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.